sensible to give these discussions. हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मैं हूं अवधेंद्र। फ्रेंड्स, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इशू ये है कि हमें चाइना के इन्वेस्टमेंट को हाउ टू डील विद चाइना, दैट्स द क्वेश्चन मार्क एट द इकोनॉमिक फ्रंट, इकोनॉमिक एंगेजमेंट, दैट्स द क्वेश्चन मार्क, हाउ टू डील विद चाइना. This is very important question. First, we should understand, setting aside geopolitics aside, we should first understand the capacity of both nations. We should understand that our need first. India does need money in the form of FDI, foreign direct investment, and FPI, portfolio investment. No question about that. FDI brings, and the second money is the first component. Second component is technology as well. Chinese are even more advanced because the reason is 30 years back, the economic development, and they got technology. One thing I was watching the video from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I saw in that video 70 to 75% of the students in the classroom were Chinese, 5 to 10 were Indians. Even 5 to 10%, they may have the American people there. You must have to understand this. They have invested, they got the money, they sent their children to the American institutions, and they brought back their citizens to China. And then China got the technology. And he was heavily invested in China because of the China brought them the ecosystem, ease of doing business ecosystem. Even those students, those technicians who came back to China, China financed them in large numbers, and they opened up a lot of enterprises with technological achievements. Even the US companies also invested heavily and brought technology. There was a geopolitical reason to contain the US effect, Russia effect and USSR effect. That was the reason behind the setting aside politics. But what led to China's development? The money came from US, the money, the technology they brought from the US institutions, and third component, entire world was, wanted to develop. There were appetite for consumption. So China, had the opportunity, got the opportunity, had the capacity, they had the resources, even natural resources, industrial natural resources, minerals even. They had the capacity They developed it. They got technology. They got money. They had the resources. They got the entire market. On that time, they started exporting a lot of product around the world. This was the very important time, and the ecosystem on that time was like that. That's why they led 17% of GDP growth rate into 10 to 15 years, brought them up to that level of GDP, the approximate $19 billion right now. Sorry, $1 trillion right now. You have to understand this. And they have technological power, prowess right now, and they had the money. They have right now the money. They are investing in research and competing with US. So India, 1.4 billion population, largely the youth, our average population average age of our population is 29 years. We are a very rich nation, human resource rich nations. We have the youth who wants to get job. We have the plan for Make in India program and PRI, production link incentive program in India have included 14 sectors. We are especially injecting money into certain segment for the economic development and manufacturing capacity development for our nation, which is civilian in purpose. We are here is industrial development is two kind. One is the civilian purpose and one is the defense purpose, military purposes. Military engagement, India is cooperating with certain partners like France, Italy, and Germany, particular, and little bit cooperation with the UK. UK is very clever. They only talk about, but they don't give that much proportion, that much speed. They do, seek the political advantage, and this and that very difficult cooperation with the UK as well as US. US is too much engaging uh, with India, talking about a lot of they will do it, they will do this, that we have larger cooperation, but in proportion that doesn't realize actually. We actually feel that there's a lot of talk, but in actual realization, I don't have that much of cooperation. They don't give us technology, etc. Okay, so they definitely do little bit. I would say 25% of the entire cooperation. Okay, and UK is very clever. Okay, so Indian government is just doing it very well with the UK. We have FTA negotiations going on since 20 years, and with the European Union as well, 15 plus years had gone now. We are negotiating on various front. So Indian government is dealing rightly, but the question is, we are losing our time. We are losing our time. This is the important moment. Mr. Prime Minister is always saying that this is India's time, India's century. We have to give our citizens, particularly youth, job opportunity. We have to give them job opportunity. Otherwise, we are losing our strength, natural resources. National resources. Our foreign policy objective, our economic policy objective should be, and it is to lift up the people out of poverty. We have done it, but we need the rapid reforms. 7%, 8% GDP growth is not sufficient in case of India because India is domestically appetite. We are the uh, approximate $4 trillion economy, but my export is $400 billion. That means we are largely consuming our product in India. Okay, so we must have to understand this. We need to have economic growth rate 10% plus. We have to, put our objective clear. Whatever the mechanism we need, we should put it in that way. We are developing infrastructure, $1 trillion investment, and Gati Shakti programs is also going on to uplift the infrastructure. Okay, Sagarmala, national development, port development, airport connectivity, everything is going on rapid pace. But that economic potential is dependent upon our citizens. Our citizens must be empowered enough. They must have to get job. And Indian government is just doing well, but there is a question in my mind. The, we are not managing well. Indian government will definitely consider it because we were engaged with on the border. So trade was not very much flourishing with China, but I don't want trade with China. I want to export trade within China. My point of view is two things. We have to, FDI, open up the FDI from China because in 2020, when the Galwan incident took place and COVID erupted, we stopped FDI, including started scrutinizing the FDI from all the bordering states of India. That was the purpose of China and proxy investment through the Bangladesh to India. India also started scrutinizing all the bordering nations. We now have managed everything, COVID and etc. But we are now at the established stage. We need to invest, open up the FDI. Money, money, money must have to come with technology, and China have it. And we are definitely cooperating with the European Union. And yes, delaying the free trade agreement with the European Union is definitely fruitful for India. Okay, and definitely US is also a major point of economic upliftment for India. And three pillars is there for our upliftment: Europe and the American continent, and third component is China. But because of geopolitical reasons, we didn't get actually realized that much Chinese strength, which we should do it. But China definitely, we should actually rationally examine. Uh, India does need. We are losing our, youth potential. Definitely, Indian government is considering it because if I am saying something because I got the news, I got their mindset, then I am saying this. Uh, so definitely, government of India is doing it in this way. And two and within 2 years, 1.5 year and 2 years, Indian government will definitely open up more investment from. We should reduce actually import from China, the finished product from China. We should, uh, mm, you know, uh, definitely Indian government is considering it. I got the news, many news coming out of the quality parameters, etc. And protection. It is a matter of protectionism. Okay, so countervailing duties and these are the tools to prevent the Chinese exports to India. I know it. Countervailing duties India is imposing on, and the quality parameters also imposing on China. But yes, definitely the essential middle component of goods we should import it, and because of we need that much level of industrial uh, prowess we could not achieve in a just single day. It is a long term progressing thing. 10 to 20 years it takes. um, you know these are progressing things, but definitely uh, there should be a progressive plan, and yes, government of India examining very well. And I would say that we have to examine the FDI very much clearly. We know that where it is going, we have to follow it because Chinese are very, you know, not clever. uh, वो तो चोर टाइप के लोग है ना, वो डिसीट करना इस तरह के होते हैं नो, उसमें से ले भागने वाला प्रपंच होता है. That is not good thing. We have to examine their behavior. Everybody is around the world, I know, have minds of the people around the world. Russians are very nice people, but one question is that the Chinese people are very tricky. We should, Indonesian, even South Asian countries is also. My question is because I know their brains. The Chinese is also very much, I told you, their characteristic. We should examine their behavior and where they are investing their FDI. And definitely, government of India have agency, they do it. But the skepticism in our mind that China's FDI must be prevented in all its form, that is not good thing. It will hurt us, in my point of view. So we have to scrutinize and try to, uh, reduce our guard, for the investment flow and technology flow. And definitely, China, we have to, cooperate with them. They should also cooperate with them. The I have the feeling that Mr. Vladimir Putin consistently praising India, and he made uh, uh, the comment that India must be considered and given the status of global power. He is always advocating India must be given as a status of global power because there is a political reason is going on. The in my best of my opinion and knowledge, the cooperation and right now the negotiation and the disengagement of India's border area with China was, I think, was supported by Russia. Russians uh, don't want the fissures between India and China because it will hurt Russia's interest in Asia, and these two nations are a friend of Russia. So Russia would be in a kind of dilemma to whom we should stand up. With India, a long-term relationship have with Russia. Russia have the trust with India. Russia don't want to lose India. And Russia knows that Indian are emotional. Okay, so they are emotionally linked with Russia. So Russia, if didn't help India during the crisis time, so the sentiment of Indian people will get hurt. So they understand it. That's why Mr. Vladimir Putin is saying that it's his statement. He said that both sides are wise. He said that both sides are wise and they are rational people and they will settle amicably in a peaceful coordination manner. यूनिक वर्ड है. So I saw that in entire passage of his speech, he's definitely advocating that India and China must be in peace when he was talking about in the BRICS meeting too. And Mr. Modi was sitting aside and with the with the Chinese president, and they met there. They talked. Now both will go. China is also feeling hurt because Mr. Trump is coming to office in US. The export of China will get hurt. So China is also finding another market. 1.4 billion market is the immediate neighbor of China. India have the potential of, so China is definitely taking it consideration in their relationship. So thank you very much, my friends, for watching.